guys did. And we are so flipping excited about some stuff that we've got coming up that we just want to share it with you. This is going to be a doozy because we had 2 weeks in a row here of leaderboards. This week, Cat Time was the number 1 producer. It's a good name.
That's a great name.
Last week was, I'm assuming that's supposed to be an I, but we have to pronounce it as it lies, man. Davoled.
Good job,
Berry. What do you think? Is that a Dobbled?
I think it's doubled, but I keep going back to Cat Time.
It's like Cat Time, man.
That's like one of Reggie's agents.
That's it. Is one of Reggie's agents. Congratulations, Cat Time and Dobbled Berry. You guys, you had good weeks. Dobbled took you though, Cat. Better get back at it. Top 10. That was first time producers too, by the way. I think I misstated. Number 1 for the week in this past week was Kirsten Martin, $22,792, and Emmanuel Manuel, $32,359. We call him Manny. Well done.
It was David. It was David, by the way. Must have been a spell check error there.
Unfortunate typo. Maybe it was capital. Was it a capital I? So it's like David. John Berlin was the top app count getter. Chad Harrington. I love that last name, Harrington. 18 apps for that week. Henry Barth, number 1 for this week in, what are we looking at? MedSups. Aaron Avedon is the way we pronounce that. Aaron Avedon, well done. $4,000. Top DI rider was Brett Diamond. Had to have been part of Diamond Rio back in the day. Elena Settle was the top for the week prior. Top IUL producer was Stephanie Wedra, maybe Wedra. And then Madison Owenby with an 86. This is the kind of week that I had if I'd have gone out for like 2 days.
Go ahead, Madison.
Way to go, Madison. Top annuity producer for last week was Thomas Assurer. And the week prior was Matthew Self with $557,000. Top DFL producer was Ronald Venters. And the top DFL producer for the week prior was Brent Carter.
Nice.
You know Brent Carter.
We go way back.
Way back. Week to date new riders is a 3-way tie. Pinso, Grossman, Kimbrell, and a 3-way tie on the directs board. When's that happen? Is this the first time ever? Hunt, Clark, and Cook. It's the first time that I've ever seen a 3-way tie in both.
Yep.
It's like Moons and Goocher stuff, right? Spivey knows what's up with that. Oh, good. Look, this is a new leaderboard.
New one.
Oh, this is great. I love this leaderboard. Top 3 resetters. Passive income earners. Now, this is reset premium, which means in most cases, Spivey, this is a 60-40 split. So just by turning it over, I'm still getting 40% of the premium, not doing anything. Maybe a little bit more than that.
With QRS and
could be
QFA and be 60 to 80%.
That's right. I was going to say that. I got the specialist on here. So what are we looking at here? We got Alicia Hill just turned over in October almost $17,000 of passive premium. Whoop. Look at that. Directs. This is override premium, I'm assuming, $9,135. What is that?
Correct. Override premium.
Yep.
Well done. How about that?
The majority of these
like
are
10 grand.
QRS. The majority.
Resma, anyone else in the industry doing this?
No.
No.
Nobody. But we are.
We are.
No. And if you're not doing it, I would say
Do it.
should. If you're worried about it, it's out of your flow, start making it simpler. We're going to start some different trials. Resma, if you want to talk about it, like the way I always did it, it wasn't necessarily the best way to do it. We love an FIF. If the way that your presentation is locked and loaded and we're setting this up to where it's a little more standardized now, at worst, at the end of your appointment, you should say, hey, do you happen to know anybody that, that's my recruiting pitch. I'm sorry. How's your safe money looking, Mike? Are you okay with your retirement, or is there anything that you want to do to let me help you pay off some debts? how would you say it is like the worst case scenario? Just asking a simple question, right?
Yeah, just asking a couple if they've got debt. Hey, is your debt preventing you from contributing to retirement, or is debt keeping you up at night? Yes, perfect. We got a specialist. Has your advisor gone over what your income gap is going to be? Do you know how much your income is going to go down when you retire and you stop working? No, boom. Hey, we've got some specialists, right? We can keep it really simple. So I'll talk more on the State of the Union next week and kind of go through how we want to create some different focus groups to help increase FIF reset adoption and different sales processes to help you guys out, make some things a little bit easier. And I'm excited to get this thing going with everybody.
I am too.
We might need a hashtag for that. And like the old, remember, Brandon, we used to say the worst thing you can say when you're building a business and recruiting is I got a guy. It might be the best thing you can say for building your actually passive income on the resets is I got a guy.
All right.
That's right.
You should meet this guy. Don't mean to put a gender on it, but we need something like that, which is I have a specialist, I have a guy, you got to talk to him. That's the punchline. The premise of it is you just got to hand it off to someone else and look at this passive income.
I think that's a brilliant idea. And we're going to keep working on it. Look at this. This is passive PCS income. Again, free money. Can we say hashtag free money? That sounds too good to be true, doesn't it?
Nope.
Nope.
I can tell you what, when Larry and Nan Griffin called us to report what happened in their deposit, it was not too good to be true. It was 5 and real.
Absolutely. Look at Weagle, $6,000. Papa Giorgio, almost $5,000. Agents, Jennifer Gaines, who I think we're going to be hanging out with in, didn't I just hear that? We get to hang
That's
out?
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesse Bachrock. I mean, look at these numbers, guys. This is why you go out and become an application machine, because we'll come in behind you and turn you into a passive income machine. SNAs, the Shanks took the cake on the base. Ashley and Tyler, who continue to do some really good things, man. Keep an eye on them if I were you. 4 in their direct organization. All right, Spivey, you're on the clock. Don't miss one. And go.
Angie Howard, Beverly Sims, Brianna Ross, Chad Orso, Damian Thompson, Deborah Bando, Deanna Baez, Denisha West, Grace Jensen. Can I say Jaeger Hartshorn?
I don't know why you wouldn't say Jagger.
I know, but I want to say Jaeger. It is Jagger. Jaeger sounds cool. James Gabriella, John Cobb, Julie Carrier, Kaylee Acosta, Chris Murphy, Christy Daly, Michael Hampson, Misty Venable, Sierra Gregg, Sydney Koskinen, Taylor Pierce, and Tracy Furtado.
I thought you did a pretty good job, man. I would give you an A+.
Good job. Good job.
Well done.
I feel B+ is fair.
That's fair. This was for the most recent week here. Shannon Turner and Stefan Brenez take the cake there. And then Jacob Hogue and Darren Stubbs on directs are on SNAs. And then here we go. This was a short week, right? This is Thanksgiving week. So Casey, I'm going to let you rattle this one off. Let's see what you got.
All right. We got Feeney, Barry, Connor, Legure, McPeak, Traub, Monterosa, Bonds Jensen, Devlin, Baldwin, Cooper, Sellers, Topali, Smith, and Anson.
I thought you did pretty good. They threw you some curveballs in there with
There was a couple of.
Yeah.
I think my list might have been a touch easier. Just a touch.
Yours was longer, but maybe a touch easier for sure.
If you're new to us, though, guys, season new agents, that's 6 apps in 6 weeks, and truly unlock some metrics that we take a look at consistently behind the scenes here to show that you're well on your way to having a successful insurance business with us and within 12 months. So great job, guys.
I love it. Do you have a favorite name on this list before I move on? It's hard for me to go away from McPeak.
That's a good one.
I'm still on Jaeger if they'll let me call him Jaeger.
I like Monterosa, Olivier Monterosa.
Monteroso. I love that name too. That's a really good one.
Traub's strong too.
Margaret is Paige's mother, I think. Is that right? Is that what I'm hearing? This just in? Margaret Jensen is Paige Jensen's mom.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you did the app. That's so well done.
How about that? Well done, everybody. All right, here we go. Last week on the key leaders, we got Leslie Phillips, Jennifer Gray, recruiter, and a whole bunch of folks on the new writers. Bill Hirschfield, Bryant Mitchell, Christopher Harrer, Devin Bowersox, Michelle North. There might be more. We just ran out of room on the screen. 2 weeks ago, Manny, Edward Puckett, and Christopher Harrer with Manny Manuel and Rita Sarkeesian. Well done. Agency owners, those were key leaders. Shannon Turner, good week last week. Eric Gurr with Gabby and Fred, tied for the number of recruits. And Stephen Luke Jackson. A way to go, Luke.
No, Luke.
Look at this. 2 weeks ago, top APV was Chad Harrington. Jerry Choate was the top recruiter, and the DJ himself was the top new writer. What did we say that our new writer converter was going to be? Agency director, Sarah Reinecke. There you go, Reinecke. Reinecke team's got one more day. Y'all get out there and make it happen. Ben Sifapur and JPV tied for the number of recruits, and we got a lot of people at 3 on the new writers with Johnson, Andrick, Griffin, Newbauer, and Sean Kim. Agency directors from 2 weeks ago, Alvarado just barely edged out Sean Kim. Larry and Ann with the top recruiters, and Roddy and Jessica Jessup. Eileen Balmer, top producer. Christopher Menifee, top recruiter. Frank, Jordan, and Scott all tied with most new writers. Eileen Balmer again. Christopher Menifee again. Eileen Balmer, though, with 7 new writers. Well done. Managing vice presidents from this past week, Christopher Cook. Christopher Cook. Is there a lot of anticipation here to see if he gets the turkey leg? Come on. Hey, Christopher Cook. Oh, he tied, though.
Tied.
We give him a turkey foot instead of a turkey leg. How's that?
Right.
John Ziller said not so fast. Chris Cook, though, on the recruiting board still, and #1 new writer for 2 weeks ago. The Godfather himself, Tony Capistrano, Mike and Sarah Pappas, and Mike and Jennifer Colburn tied with Tony Capistrano for recruits. Well done, everybody. It's a good week. Nate Offert, big number. 15, big number. Now that is a true turkey leg. Congratulations, Nate Offert.
Nice.
Wonder why it started being called a turkey leg. Can anybody put that in the chat for us? It's probably worth a Google. Need a fact checker. Is it because there's 3?
It's a good thought.
3 turkey toes? I doubt they're called turkey toes, by the way. We need a park ranger to get in here and kind of clear some things up for us. Darren Stubbs, Scott Mank, and Darren Stubbs and Sean Shannon on the board for executive vice presidents. Scott Mank took it 2 weeks ago, though. Scott Mank took it again, and the turkey leg. And what's another term for turkey leg? I feel like there's another one for that.
Hat trick.
Hat trick. Yeah. That's more of a hat trick since Mank's clearly a hockey fan. Top associate partner was Linwood Watkins, with the number of recruits being 28, and Ashley and Tyler continuing to turn people into writers at an astounding rate. Well done. We need to get them back on to talk about how they're doing that. Linwood, and Linwood. Well done for the week prior. Top senior partner. We've whittled this list down. There's only 2 senior partners. Danny Young, and Danny Young with himself a turkey leg. Now he's the bowling. He's the turkey leg machine. Danny, I think, has bowled. How many perfect games has Danny bowled?
At least
something,
1.
It's something crazy.
Maybe it was like 3 or 4 or something like that.
I think it's a big number. It's more than you would think. Okay. Danny Young with a big week, 2 weeks in a row. Well done. The managing partner board has exploded, though. Y'all seen this?
Dude, it's
Look at Marshall Whalen.
wrong.
Good Lord.
Good.
Lord. Well done, Marshall. Edward. We almost got a Marshall. I can't look at my text yet.
That'd be good.
Should I look at it or is it going to distract me?
No, you're good.
All right. Marshall. There it is again. He's liable to catch a football to the nose at any second.
It's a turkey leg straight up and down.
Yeah, look at that.
For first, second, third, fourth, fifth here.
Yep.
Right.
Although Pritchett stepped in and made sure they didn't get a turkey leg on the first one. But you got it last week, Marshall.
Yeah.
Way to go. Directs, Darren, Jacob, Cook, Clark, Hunt, Kimbrell, all tied. Directs, Pogue. Nailed it. They should get something every time they get a turkey leg.
Right.
I don't know what, though. We give away enough gifts. They don't need any more Yetis. I bet Marshall's got 37 Yetis. Strikes me, having a lake house, as many Yetis as he's won. I bet he's got a whole closet full of them. When he has agents over, they walk in.
At a lake house, though. They disappear.
Did the turduckens come with a leg on it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know that it comes with a turkey foot, though. Tyler and Ashley. Ashley and Tyler with Alvarado, Pappas, Puckett, and Geoff, as Casey loves to call him.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of new writers here. Kyle and Lisa with Larry Grossman. Oh, wait, we're completely out of order. I'm throwing off my game here. Tim Penso should be far left on my screen. He's in the center. Spivey, you need to just completely lose it on somebody today over this one. Not to mention with the Dovelled error.
Yeah, that really threw us off there. The Dovelled.
Sharp, though. Tim always looking sharp.
He looks good, doesn't
He does.
he? Base shops, Nate Offert, Alvarado, and Nate Offert with a number of new riders. And I think that's it. It was certainly not record time. However, we did get it in before 1:30. So let's stop the share. And I think we have a video to share, don't we?
We do.
Did I say that there was a video?
There is a video.
We're going to come back and it will be just Spivey because Casey and I have a 1:30 that we have to scoot out to before Mexico. We're heading out to Cabo tomorrow. Can't wait to see everybody that's going to be there. Hopefully all of you that could go are going to go. Can't wait to meet a lot of the new the new qualifiers.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Spivey, you'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yep.
Fired up.
You will see an announcement in the deck here in a second about, I'm pretty sure you will, about the State of the Union next week.
Yes.
Big one. Very big call scheduled for next week. We want thousands and thousands and thousands of people on this call.
3,000.
Thousands. So I would do what you guys do best, which is promote. Get that link out there. Lot of competitors right now on their heels. And have been for some time. But as we continue to put pressure on the rest of the market with products and technology and leads and everything we're doing behind the scenes, there's a lot of agents looking for change. And we're continuing to get texts and emails and, feedback from you leaders out there with what that feels like, which is awesome. It feels like the gold rush, which we've been talking about a lot. So just keep leaning into it. And especially, I think common theme for a lot of the leaders right now. I've been talking to a lot of you guys, and the common theme is just get ready for what's to come. And 2023 is the way you set yourself up for 2023 is not to get started January 1st. Is to get started right now. It really is to get started a month or two ago, because this business has a bit of a kind of a pipeline effect with personal production, but especially with building. So take advantage. Brandon, if I know what you're reading that. Whatever you do, don't Urban Dictionary.
Don't look up turkey leg. We're not going to be able to say that anymore, I'm afraid. What happened to the good old days of where we could just?
I know everything's got some sort of hidden meaning now.
Right. I'm not going away from turkey leg. I'm going to still say it.
I'll laugh every time you say it.
It will have a new meaning.
But Brandon, what do we know about this season right now that we're in is that people buy a ton of insurance and people are looking for a change. This is the time they do it. Historically, if you look back at the last 13, 14 years of our company, and even beyond that, Brandon, before we started the company, because we've been doing this for a really long time now, it's always that first few months, that first quarter really is the best time of year to get new agents going, get them started. Recruiting is going to go up. Everything's going to go up. So buckle up for it. But it starts with intentionality right now. It starts with loading those calendars up, both with interviews and with appointments, and setting yourself up for a big 2023. And not take it from me. I've limped through holidays before, especially when I first got started, and I kind of had trouble managing what I thought was supposed to be freedom, because I set my own schedule, and I just had to learn that, freedom is earned. And I had to kind of really kind of sting myself a little bit a couple times by taking a little bit too much time off. Like we said last week, it's a holiday, not a holiday week. And this time of the year can be dangerous for entrepreneurs and self-employed people if you haven't quite got that discipline part down. So it feels that, what do we say, Brandon? The pain of discipline is way, way better than the pain of regret. Don't be limping into 2023. Get it kicked off with a bang. And that means we push hard this time of year. So that would be the message. And again, Big So2 next week.
I think it was
to Mexico.
I think it was the Christmas of 2004 that got you.
Yeah. That was a scary one.
We're coming up on the 20-year anniversary of that.
That's right.
That's when Casey almost became a food truck driver.
That's right. Almost had to start selling frozen meats or something,
Yep. Well, I think we've got a good video. Spivey, take it from here. We appreciate everybody. Look forward to seeing y'all in Mako. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you, guys.
My family and I immigrated here from Vietnam right after the war in 1975. I was 7.5 years old. As an immigrant, pretty much every immigrant family, and they started out, there's not a lot of money. I started working when I was 10 years old.
I came from Spain. I actually just came here with $2,000 in my pocket. I was looking for jobs, like they want to pay me $12 an hour. I was working as a waitress, and for me to make $400 a week, it was great. I had to fight.
I'm originally from Korea. I was a pre-med student. I was just not making enough money in college, so I looked for another job, and I found timeshare. It was great money, but the biggest thing for me was just there was no security in the job that I have. Commission-driven companies tend to focus on more of just making more money. What I was really looking for was a safe place that I can really grow my business.
I've always been running on the run from business to business, not because I didn't try. I tried every time, but it's just that it's not duplicatable.
To have the opportunity to make as much money as I wanted to and see the opportunity for growth, it was very important.
So if anybody is looking for an opportunity, Symmetry is absolutely the best place when you can be your own boss and you can choose your own lifestyle and your income.
Every single agent that they come on board, that they have the opportunity to become an agency owner, a business owner within a short period of time, it's amazing. It's an opportunity that you don't get anywhere.
If you work hard, if you're humble, you work hard, you're coachable, you can do well in this business.
As long as you follow the system and you're plugging into the culture, the trainings, I think anybody can be successful.
When I was in the mortgage business, I wanted to have my sons work with me. That dream went down the tube when the mortgage collapsed. And then Symmetry Business Platform gave me that dream again, which came true. I'm living right now, so.
It's also the culture, the relationships, and everything that we get to develop here in Symmetry, that it really feels like a whole family.
It's not just even about the amount of money that we make here, but just how we make it, putting the people first. I think that's a big deal for me.
It doesn't seem like work to me, because I enjoy what I do. When you enjoy what you do, and you get to help people and impact their lives, it's not work for me. That's why I feel like this is home forever. So.
Man, that last one with Tony gets me every time. Well done, Godfather. Great job. Great, outstanding job by our videography team that works tirelessly behind the scenes. So I know you guys enjoy those videos as much as I do. So let's jump back into it, guys, because we've got quite a few leaderboards to get into as well. And we are about to hop into A very special segment we're going to have with our friends from Afficiency and QLT, and our very own Chief Distribution Officer, Mike Resma, going to be speaking to us live, guys. Going to make a significant impact. Can't wait to have you on, my friend. Stick with me if you want, bud.
You got it.
How did I do? We got the proper transition?
You're ready to rock, buddy. You're doing great. Keep it going.
Nice. Let's get through some announcements, guys. These are going to be important, so make sure you got your pen and your paper is ready to take some notes. Very important. Ayers Newsom, great job reaching out. Wanted to make sure that this was clearly communicated that tomorrow's Jeremy Minor call has been canceled for tomorrow. It has been rescheduled for Thursday, December 15th at 12 p.m. Eastern. So everybody going out right now that is getting ready to wrap up, it is the final call in the series to make sure that you know that tomorrow's call has been moved to December 15th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Lead credit policy update going to be effective on December 1st. Bonus leads no longer eligible to submit for lead credit. If an agent submits a false lead credit, the team confirms it is indeed false. We will then be charged a $30 processing fee upon denial of the credit request. After 3 of the above false requests, the agent will not be able to submit lead credit. So just an update, guys, on how we're going to be processing on the bonus leads. Make sure this was announced just last week. I wanted to make sure that we're continually reminding you as well from the leads department. State of the Union next week, guys. You know that these are always some of the highlights of the year when we get to hear from the founders and so many other key leaders from across the country. Saw in the text, Resma, everybody was blowing up asking, is this something that I would want to call and invite somebody that might be interested in this business too? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. You're going to get to hear from some of those that are doing it better than we've seen in the history of the company are going to be on a special guest. You're going to see Brandon and Casey talking about where we've been throughout this year and also the exciting places that we're going to the future. So Resma, I know you're excited about this call.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just imagine you got some other people that are maybe in outside IMOs, you know that they're unhappy, they're maybe on the fence. This would be a great opportunity to showcase and highlight all the cool things that we have going on. Maybe that moves the needle in our favor and pushes them over to Symmetry. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Everybody take note that the call will take place at 1 p.m. Eastern time next week. We will have our builders call as usual from 12:30 to 1. So be sure everybody is tuning in and sharing with everyone you know. Also extremely excited, guys. We've been promoting this and talking about this. The Symmetry Leaders Summit Spring Fling coming up. Save the date. That's going to be March 21st through 22nd. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for association. Those invites are going to start coming out pretty soon here in the next couple of weeks. It is invitation only for key leaders and above. So if you're not quite yet into that key leader category, make sure that you're pushing now. This is an event that you do not want to miss that will be invite only here in the wonderful mountains of Asheville, North Carolina. Let's talk real quick about some leaderboards for the Champions Cup and the Directs division. Over in the Champions division, we got number 3, Sean Hogue, number 2, James Satterfield, number 1 currently, Misty Cintron. Looking in the Directs division, we got Scott Mink, Edward Pritchett coming in second, Jacob Pogue currently in the lead. Everybody make sure that you're continuing to follow through. All of the details for the contest is on HQ. Make sure that you're checking that out and understand, guys, again, quality of business is going to matter. So what you're seeing in the leaderboards is subject to change based on going back and seeing the stickiness and quality of business post-contest. So everybody make sure you continue to do your best out there in the field. So leaderboards on the base shop side, number 3, Jeremy Whitaker, number 2, Carlton Lear, and number 1, James Satterfield. On the agency owner's side, number 3, Ashley Richard, number 2, DJ Debt-Free, and number 1, Misty Cintron, again with 191,000 points. On to the leaderboards for MyQuility. Again, guys, the growth with MyQuility starts with each and every one of us taking it on ourselves to become familiar with the platform, to engage with the platform, to learn how to use the platform ourselves, and also sharing with our clients to make sure that we can provide these awesome benefits and savings as well. Mike?
Yeah, I mean, this is just one piece, over the next 12 months. I just want to continue, and we as a team want to continue just driving that message that there really is no such thing as a no sale anymore. So really, if doing an FIF reset right now, you're not used to doing the financial information form inside of your appointment, you're waiting to do that. When you guys get a no sale, a big trigger should be going off in your head. What am I going to do? How can I provide value? How can I help them out? One of the easiest things that you can do is get them on the MyQuility platform, because then they can get savings. You can stay engaged in contact with them. And then when things do change in their life, of course, they're going to reach out to you. And then we can obviously look at the different cross-sell opportunities down the road. But MyQuility is just a great way to eliminate no sales, get them on platform, get them some savings, provide value, and keep your name front of mind for the future.
Boom. Right now at stake, guys, a $5,000 vacation from the MyQuility team. This runs through December 31st. And our top direct right now is Ashley and Tyler. Looking over on the agency owner's side, Mr. Ashton DeLongo Lunday. What do you think, Resma?
You nailed it.
I think you'd be proud. On the overall top agent side, we've got Lola Onafade. Great job there. Followed by Tyler Harris. And do not miss Thursday, December 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure that you are tuning in for the Director of Member Services, Brittany Torbett, and the Walmart Health Senior Relationship Manager, Allie Cassidy. It will be a special training and webinar to talk about our virtual care, the MeMD and MyQuility team, to talk about opportunities to continue to find ways to offer value to our clients. So many people out there, guys, need affordable health care, and we now have a solution that we can offer. So make sure that you're tuning in on December 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern to attend that training webinar. Again, guys, we want to hit this again because we do not want anybody to miss this. The call for tomorrow with Jeremy Miner in the NEPQ training has been postponed. It will be December 15th at 12 p.m. Eastern. So just wanted to hit that again real quick so that we don't have anybody inadvertently log in tomorrow and wonder where in the world Jeremy is. QPI, my buddy Brian Williamson is on his way right now to Cabo. He is taking his daughter down there, so he will be joining him tomorrow. He asked for me to make sure that I give an update that on December 7th, you will receive an email link to the 2022 Quility People Insights Census. This is going to give our leaders access to some of the most awesome insights into their agencies, way that we can continue to build healthy agencies. Guys, I can tell you so many success stories that came out of this exercise that we did last year. There's still continue to be calendar events filled up with agency owners hosting even team getaways right now that are using the insights learned from the Quility People Insights platform. B-Dubs wanted me to remind everybody that the two most important things: be open and honest with your responses. This is completely anonymous. We want to make sure that we're getting the best insights and that we are going to be stewards of the information that comes in that will only serve to uplift and help you grow your agencies and identify places that you can probably lean into some opportunities for growth. Also, make sure you're checking your spam. Be sure to make sure that this email does not go into your spam folder. If you don't see the survey by the end of the day on December 7th, 2022, make sure that you're getting those results filled out. From our awesome marketing team, I know Resma can echo this, guys. They work tirelessly behind the scenes, constantly looking for ways to continue to give us assets to go out and help us build extremely profitable businesses. And we just want to say a huge shout out of gratitude to the entire marketing team for all their promotional efforts. There is new branded customizable marketing templates available now. Head over to HQ for more information, guys, where you will find all sorts of new branded customizable marketing templates that you can access and use in all such forms as social media and your own individual team websites and conference calls. Switchboard. Good news, Resma. Tell you what, buddy, you show up as chief distribution officer and things get really freaking awesome pretty quick, man. One of those such things, switchboard access and eligibility, is expanding on December 5th to all agents who submit at least one application. Once eligible, the agent will receive an email invitation to Switchboard. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to help@quilityswitchboard.com. But guys, we continue to make it easier and easier for new agents to get here and win early. And this is a great example of how the team over on the Switchboard side continues to do amazing things and opening up this tool to be unlocked to new agents after only one application as of December 5th. Speaking of Switchboard, a little self-promotion here. Todd Talks just wrapped up a awesome conversation that I got to sit down and have with the Senior Director of Product Management Engagement and co-founder along with our buddy, the Lion, Frank Brenez. We got to sit down and talk to Jay Nesbitt about Switchboard, talk about a little bit of the development, the mindset around it, where this tool is going in the future. It was also done in a format, guys, that will make it extremely easy for you to share with people that might not be a part of the SFG team that is curious what Switchboard is. So make sure that you're tuning in Friday, December 9th at 1 p.m. It's on the SFG YouTube channel. And as always, you can find more information in HQ. So
are you guys going to be doing that special thing? The password is he going to come up with Barry Sanders in Michigan and the Lions being the best football team of all time?
Oh, I wish I could go there for your Lions, but we are going to play a fun little ice-breaking game, and it's actually a challenge. He is going to be given common words that we use in the sales vocabulary, and he has to guess the definition, whereas on the flip side, I'm going to be seeing tech terms, and I've got to guess the definition. And let's just say I didn't fare as well as he did.
I can't wait to watch it, buddy.
Upcoming events, guys, carrier webinar, that will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be hosted by our good friends at Americo on the updates to make the sales process easier. Make sure you're tuning in and be prepared to ask any questions you'd like as well. Americo always does a great job of providing that training and support. Resma, you want to take this next one?
Yeah, so I wanted to bring on our friends at Efficiency and SBLI. If you guys could unveil, please, and introduce yourselves. Ryan, Dennis, Josh Fink, there we go. And then just kind of talk through what we're seeing currently, some changes that are coming down the pipe, and give everybody some updated information on QLT.
All right. Why don't I'll kick it off, and then, hey guys, nice to see you.
What's going on, Dennis?
Going well, man, going well. I tell you, I was going back, way back in the day. This is back in the late 90s. I was doing mortgage sales, and I went into a house, and there was a woman quite lovingly petting a dead cat. So that's my story. Anyway. Yes, we do have some change. We do have some.
Did you make the sale? Do you know?
I don't know that I did. I was so freaked out by the whole thing, and there was a lot of other stuff going on as well. But that was the thing I remember. I made some tough sales. I'm not sure that was one of them. But anyway, we do have some updates and some changes. But first of all, what I'd like to do is just convey, as from SBLI. We're about a year in, and I'd like to convey our gratitude and our support of you guys and our faith in everything that we're doing moving forward. It's a new relationship, and often with new relationships and new products, new platforms, you get some learnings along the way. And so as a result of some of those learnings, we're introducing some additional controls. Unfortunately, reality is that, you know, people will take advantage of great things. And we had a little bit of that happen this year. Not a lot of incidents, but a lot of sort of financial implications for us and for Quility. And we're working through that, but we're taking it really seriously. The reality is that it doesn't really apply to Symmetry, but we have one platform. And so the one platform we're going to introduce controls to. So as I say, it's really not applicable to this group in general. It was in some other areas, but this is an opportunity for us to give you some updates and also to give you some news from an appointment and contracting perspective that I think you'll be happy to hear also. So I'm going to hand it over to Josh at Efficiency, and he can take it from here.
Great. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, everybody, for your time. I'm Josh Fink at Efficiency. As Dennis said, we are sort of the instant underwriting kind of engine behind the QLT product. And we do have a few enhancements and changes a little bit into the journey that we wanted to share. Really, the changes to the journey, the application journey, are pretty minimal. You'll see just, you know, an extra click or an extra confirmation here or there. We just want to make sure you were aware of it.
I think we just lost your audio, buddy.
Okay, good.
Back.
Got him.
All right, there he goes.
That's strange. We just want to make sure you had the tactical here.
All right, he's gone again.
All right.
Okay. Maybe I can tap in for him. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Brian
back.
Toner.
I'm throwing
Hey,
this.
everybody. Good to see you guys again.
I'm good
Sorry
here.
about that.
All right. Okay, he's good.
Go ahead,
He's
Josh.
good.
All right, go ahead. I'm out.
So
You're in.
Stand down, Ryan. Stand down.
So yeah, so there's a few updates that are targeted to roll out tomorrow. Just gotten the word before the call as they're doing a last bit of debugging. It may roll into another day or two, but essentially, almost eminently, these first few changes you'll see in the journey. The first one is the payer relationship. So the applicant will need to provide the name of the payer and verify that the payer is either the insured themselves or the spouse or partner. So essentially, you know, when you're going through the journey, you'll see that payer relationship box. You'll select either I'm the insured, I'm the spouse or partner, or other. And if other is selected, it'll pull up like a message that says the insured or the spouse partner needs to be the payor for this product. So that's kind of what that experience will look like. Not a lot of extra clicks there. On the PII confirmation, applicants will be asked to confirm that the PII is entered correctly before going on to the instant underwriting. This is really only in scenarios where the kind of instant ID check on the back end comes back with a question. So there may not actually be an additional confirmation here for every in every journey, but it could pop up. So we want to make sure you guys are aware of that. And then future updates that are coming. Again, these were targeted for late December. Dates shift, so we will, certainly reach back as we have final dates for these changes. But certainly in the next 30, 45 days is what we're targeting. The first is the bank account verification. So in the payment section, the applicant's bank account will be automatically verified through outside service you check with, just to make sure that the account is in good standing and there's no suspicious activity on the account. This doesn't affect how the credit card capture and processing are done today, but it's a quick check, again, to kind of mitigate that suspicious activity. And then the last one, which is probably the most impactful to those on this call, is the just-in-time appointments. So once you are contracted with SBLI, you'll be automatically appointed to right in the states where you have active licenses. So there are a handful of states, let's say Indiana, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Utah, where appointments still need to be made. I think this is something that you all are familiar with, as certain states, have their own requirements, but essentially, once you are contracted, you'll get that instant appointment across the states you are already licensed. So that's a big one. That's going to be a process improvement. It's going to be a lot easier and a faster turnaround from your experience today. I'm not sure if you've experienced that through products with other carriers, but that should be a big improvement that we're pretty excited about come the next 30 to 45 days or so. I haven't seen if there's any questions here popping up.
One of the questions that seems to be coming up is what's a PII, right? So that's the principal insured, just so everybody knows, principal insured individual.
Yeah, or personally identifiable information, right? As well, right? It's that information that is core to writing the business and to the insured.
And as with everything, as you can see, we're making some adjustments, and we'll continue to make adjustments. So your feedback is important. We don't always get it right. We know that we've made some additional changes to underwriting. We're looking at that. So the feedback is important, and you should know that. Keep it coming to Mike Minch or to Jeremy, who guys on the front line. And we take it seriously, and we're looking for ways always that we can make things better. That's one of the reasons why Just in Time is now on the list. And we're looking at other things for next year to make some additional changes. But as I say, we're really, really pleased with the relationship. With the exception of Spivey, everybody I've met has been really fantastic. Common around here. Yeah, we're looking forward to next year, and obviously we have a sales trip that the results. I know that Minch is communicating all of that out to everybody, so we're looking forward to Banff in June next year. It's going to be a good time, and we will be announcing another trip early in the next couple of months here, I believe. With me and JB can get it together for 2024. So again, we're really thankful and appreciative of the work that you do and the way that you've embraced the product. I feel it's a great solution for us, for you, and for your clients. And so it's been a great initial year, and we look forward to many more to come with more products that we're introducing next year, by the way.
Yeah, real quick, just for a couple of the questions that are up there. So given the new payer relationship rollout, are we saying that parents and children cannot be the payer of the policy?
At least for a first pass, that's how it came through. It's one of the things that we looked at, and we had just seen some, to be honest with you, we had seen some suspicious behavior around that, right? And that's why we're tightening it down a little bit. As I said, feedback's really important, and it doesn't mean that we can make changes. These are relatively easy changes to make. We just, for day one, that's where we are. And as I said, Mike, Resma, just keep the feedback coming. We'll react to it.
Absolutely. I mean, being in a digital space, I mean, so much is changing, right? We're getting more data. Things we're going really, really quick and really, really fast. And we just need to have more data so that we can make recommendations to be able to offer up potential solutions and changes that would happen. So, don't be worried about this change. Let's work through this process. Let's see how it affects things, and give Dennis and team feedback. And then where things are flexible and we can make changes and look at how that would affect the business quality, then we can do that. So I appreciate the transparency, and this all, being in a digital space, this is part of what I'm going to be talking about for the next 15 minutes. Things have changed. Data is becoming more available, and we just got to keep our eyes and ears open to things, because we want to do what's right for the client, do what's right for the company, do what's right for our agents, and everybody has those intentions at heart. So,
yep. And we appreciate the time jumping on, Mike and Todd and team. So hopefully in the future, we can jump on and share other updates, new products, new things that are coming in the quarters to come. On the questions that are still in the chat, I'll go through, I'll stay on and see if we can get some answered. I'll take them down. We also have our support mailbox. It's affigy@efficiency.com. That's AFFIGEE @efficiency.com. That's Afficiency with an A, as you see on the slide. So you can always send questions or comments if you have good feedback as well there. But I appreciate your time.
Yeah, man. I want to say huge gratitude to you guys and the partnership guys. Anytime you roll out a new product on a platform such as the one that's been built here, there's always going to be adjustments that need to be made, guys. We are absolutely changing the way an industry over hundreds of years old does business. And anytime you innovate, guys, you're going to come across things that need to be improved along the way. What I'd like to say from my experience behind the scenes is working with Efficiency and SBLI has been nothing short of phenomenal. You guys are extremely responsive. You're very supportive. We don't take it lightly. You were one of the first carriers to jump on board and offer Symmetry only sponsored carrier trip. The opportunity to go to a place like Banff. I don't know if you've Googled or know where Banff is or have seen videos out there, but if you haven't, check that out. It's going to be an amazing trip. There is another amazing trip right behind talking about where Dennis mentioned for the previous next year. So make sure that you're circling that on your calendars and you are not going to miss that one in your production next year's. But from distribution over here, from me and Resma and all the agents out there, let me say thanks to you, Dennis, and Josh and Ryan, man, goes way back with Ryan and Michael as well. We appreciate your continued support and know that you want the absolute best for our clients and for our agents. And we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate it too.
Yeah,
Thanks a bunch.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll hop off.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Man,
Right on.
I'm fired up about this part.
Yeah, we'll see.
For those out there that know the story, I'm going to tell it ad nauseum. You're going to hear it at fall and spring tours. I don't remember exactly how long ago it was, but I was so fortunate to be sent out to California by the founders to go learn from somebody that was disrupting the debt-free life market. And I showed up to a seminar that was being led by Mike Resma. And it took me all of 15 minutes to figure out that I was absolutely in the presence of a rare individual that had the charisma, that had the leadership qualities, and had the intelligence and the experience that it takes to lead a very successful organization. And I remember going back to my hotel room that night and calling Brandon and Casey on a three-way call and said, well, check that one box. He absolutely is onto something with the way he teaches and instructs other agents to go out and protect families with debt-free life. But more importantly, we have found an extraordinarily just talented individual that can do so much for the organization. So it is with great honor and pleasure that I say this is the first of many, guys, where we're going to have Mike hop on these national calls and share a little bit of his wisdoms and insights and learnings over the year. But it is my proud distinction to introduce our new Chief Distribution Officer for Quility, Mike Resma.
Oh man, thank you so much for getting me emotional right before I have to talk to 1,400 people here and throwing me off my game. Just very, very honored and grateful to be here. I don't take this lightly. You know, these are heavy shoes to fill. It's a very important role, and having people like you, Todd, and Ditson, and all the others in distribution, Gary Thomas, Kalini, and Chase Allen, and Pam on the operation side, Maitland, and Britt. I mean, all of us, we have amazing people in this organization, and, you know, just hope to be able to help us move the needle in the direction and go through this digital transformation. Just, again, honored and grateful. And I wouldn't be here without you, Spivey. So I appreciate you and everything that you've done for me, bud.
Yeah, absolutely, bud.
So, So yeah, working through the digital transformation and placing more business, right? And when I say place more business, I'm not saying go do resets. I'm not saying learn something new and a new product. I'm not saying eliminate no sales. I'm talking about doing what you're currently doing and acting as a financial professional and leading through the entire process and properly taking an application. You know, as we've seen this digital transformation, it's been great for us over the last couple of years because now we can meet with more people anywhere in the country, do business the way that they want to be seen, right? Whether it be in person, over the phone, or virtually on Zoom. So it's been great from that aspect, you know. But one thing that's happened through this digital transformation is that insurance carriers and us, Quility, you know, we're focused on gathering more data and using that data to empower the agents and to provide more information for the agents to be more successful. Well, the carriers are doing the same exact thing. They're getting access to data that they weren't getting access to 2 years ago through this digital transformation and going through the pandemic and things being so virtual. Data is king at this point. And carriers, along with Quility, we're trying to get access to as much data as possible, right? So when we talk about this and the things that we can do to increase our placement ratio, it's really just focusing on what we can control, right? One thing is I want to make sure everybody understands, you know, the data elements. I've been in the industry for 10 years now, out in the field for 8 years. And when I was doing field underwriting, you know, the things that I was talking about with my clients is I was talking about MIB, I was talking about prescription checks, right? Well, now things have changed so much. We've got artificial intelligence, we've got credit info. Companies are getting digital exam info quickly instead of having to do APSs. And something recently that I learned about is DX versus RX data, right? So when I was in the field, my main thing when I was talking to clients was go get all of your prescriptions, show me all the prescriptions that you're currently taking, because those prescriptions were filled and they were taking them, or maybe they filled them and they never took them, but they had them. Well, now carriers are getting access to the data for people that just have prescriptions filled. So no longer are we talking about, hey, just the prescriptions that you've actually gone to the pharmacy and filled. If you never filled the prescription at your pharmacy, I don't need to know. Well, those days are gone. More and more carriers are getting DX data, which is getting the data of prescriptions that were actually ordered and prescribed for a client versus RX data, which is data meaning that they filled the prescription through a pharmacy. Right. And the reason why this came up is because we were looking at information. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you guys. Right. We were looking at information since July, August, and September. And we were looking at carriers' placement ratio. We noticed with Foresters that our placement ratio went down 10%. So I was fortunate enough to go up to Canada and talk to them and talk to their chief underwriter, talk to the president, and talk to their teams about things that were going on. And it's not that they changed their underwriting guides. They did not change being table 4. They did not change any of the underwriting guidelines. All that changed is that they were getting access to more data, and that's that DX data versus RX data. So what happens with carriers? Now I'm going to speak about holistically all carriers and what is probably going to transpire over the next 12 to 18 months as more carriers get this DX data, as more carriers do artificial intelligence, right? More carriers getting digital lab work. We need to make sure that we focus on the things that we control and being adaptable through the ways that we conduct business. You know, when the pandemic first happened, we were seeing that 70% of the business was on Zoom. Well, actually now when we look at the numbers, we're looking at 60% of our business is over the phone. So when I was talking to Foresters about some of these cases that were going on, they were like, look at this. We got an application that said that we had a healthy diabetic, but guess what? They ended up having insulin and neuropathy and lost a foot. Oh, guess what? We had somebody who said that they were healthy, but really we found out that they had an oxygen tank. Oh, we said that we saw somebody healthy, but really they were in a wheelchair. So here's the thing, with so much of our business being over the phone now, you can't see if that person's in a wheelchair. You can't see if they've got an oxygen tank. When we were doing business face-to-face or even virtually, you'd be able to look at the surroundings, kind of gauge their body language, see what's going on. You'd be able to see a wheelchair in the background or an oxygen tank and the tubes coming out of their nose. But when we're doing so much business over the phone, it's so important that we slow down and we ask the questions in the application the right way, in a manner that is eliciting a feeling from the client that they need to tell the truth, right? So I always followed the TAL rules. Anybody know what the TAL rule? TAL? This is how I conducted business. They all lie. They all lie. Your clients are lying, right? They all lie. And it's our job to uncover the truth, right? We need to be that detective, and not in an interrogating way that makes them back off and you lose a rapport. It's by slowing down, being genuine, and making them feel like you're out for their best interest, right? So it's like, hey, Todd, at this point, I just need you to be 100% honest with me, okay? As long as somebody is 18 days old to age 85, regardless of your health, we absolutely have a product that you can qualify for and protect your family, right? So all I need from you is I need you to be 100% honest with me with how you answer these medical questions. If the answer is a yes, I need you to be honest with me and tell me, and we'll find out whatever we need to do to put you with the right product. But if the answer is no, you don't have to stop me. Can you do that for me, Todd?
I can do it.
All right, very good. So again, I want you guys to remember this. As long as somebody's 18 days old to age 85, we have a product for them, right? We've got children's whole life. We've got accidental as guarantee issue. We have guaranteed issue whole life. We're going to be making an announcement about another product that we think should be a pivot before you go to GI guaranteed issue whole life that we're doing some research on right now. So we're going to do our part by providing you guys all the best products available, and you guys should do your part with making sure that you're asking the questions the right way, right? Because there's two responsibilities. One is that the client needs to be honest, but we cannot control that. What we can control is how we ask the questions and how diligent we are in the underwriting process. So here's some tips, right? Number one is you got to know your height and weight charts. If you're got somebody and you're looking at height and weight charts, and somebody is 5'6", 280 pounds, and they're going right at the cusp of table 4 or table 6, and that product that you're trying to recommend is table 4 or table 6, but guess what? They're also on high blood pressure medication or also on cholesterol medication. What we need to do is we need to slow down. We're not going to try and push that business through, because just height and weight alone pushes them to the max limit of the underwriting to get approved, and then you have multiple payments on top of that. So it's much better to slow down. Make sure you understand. You should always be starting with your height and weight guides in the height and weight charts and the underwriting guides. And then every single medication or medical impairment, you're basically adding on another level, right? So first tip is know your underwriting guides and your height and weight charts, and always start with your height and weight chart for the carriers that require them. Now, there are a couple that do not require height and weight charts. So then if that's the case, then you're just going to make sure that you ask those questions correctly. But the majority of the carriers do require height and weight. So you typically want to start there with your underwriting guides. So if you're on the phone with a client, you guys should, one, be asking them to grab all of their medications that they're taking, but then even on top of that, you should be asking what medications that they have been prescribed, even if they've never filled it. Maybe they didn't feel like they needed it. Maybe they didn't want to take it because they thought it was negatively going to affect their health, but it was prescribed. So ask the people on the phone to grab those medications and read them out to you. Take note of those, And then also ask what ones have been prescribed to them that have not been filled. So you understand what these carriers are going to be seeing. Right now, if you're in Zoom or in person, you can have them bring them to you, show you on screen and write them down. Or if you're in person, you can actually bring them to the table and write them down. And a lot of medications, they have multiple uses, right? Some water pills, they're used for one thing and used for another. There's medications that have poly-use, and they could be prescribed for different medical scenarios. And one medical scenario might be a decline, one might not be. So you need to help understand that and ask those questions and be detailed in your application, and let the carrier know. The carriers are looking at you and rating you based off of your placement ratio, and you have a reputation with them. And if you're just throwing a bunch of spaghetti at the wall, do you think, and your placement ratio is low, when you need a favor, you really need to push some business through, do you think that they're going to pay attention and focus on your business, or they're going to focus on somebody who's got a 70+ placement ratio, right? So you're building a relationship with them. So again, first tip, understand your height and weight charts, understand your underwriting guides. Number 2, you're on the phone, ask for those medications. Make sure you're asking what has been prescribed that they haven't filled now with the new DX data versus RX data. Zoom or in person, you guys can absolutely grab that stuff, have them show them on the screen. Now, remember that there's no hiding from the carriers, right? The more data that they have accessible, the more that they're going to see, and it's up to us to make sure that we're asking these detailed questions. So I want to show you an example of over the last 10 years of how I've seen agents ask the medical questions, and you guys tell me if this is the right way, right? All right, Todd, so within the last 10 years, have you been diagnosed with, received treatment, medication, tested positive, or given medical advice for diabetes, high blood pressure, disease, disorder of the blood lymphatic system, coronary artery disease, heart murmur, chest pain, irregular heart failure, CHF, a disease, disorder of arteries or valves, a peripheral vascular arterial disease, or had a heart attack, heart surgery, heart procedure, or circulatory surgery?
Are you related to Bud Palmer?
What the heck was that? But I have seen agents go that fast and try and get through the application that quickly, right? So do you guys feel like that is the right way to take an application? No, this is where we need to slow down, get the right tone, be genuine, be diligent. Again, you're going to say, no matter what the answers are, I just need you to be 100% honest. If we will find a product for you, it does not matter what your health situation is, right? So I just need you to be honest. So what happens is people forget to say the last 10 years. They'll say, have you been diagnosed with or received treatment or medication or tested positive or advice for XYZ? And they forget the 10 years. Some carriers are 5 years. Some carriers are 2 years. Make sure you're highlighting and emphasizing the amount of years. So Todd, within the past 10 years, not 10 years in one day, not 11 years, 15 years, not when you were 5 years old, just within the last 10 years, have you been diagnosed with, have you received treatment for, been prescribed medication, tested positive, or given medical advice for the following? So I want that to ring in your head, Todd. Okay, diagnosed, received treatment, medication, tested positive, been given advice for. Diabetes or high blood pressure?
No.
A disease or disorder of the blood or lymphatic system, your lymph nodes?
No.
Coronary artery disease?
No.
A heart murmur?
No.
Chest pain?
No.
See how I'm slowing this down? A lot of times people will say within the past 10 years, have you had diabetes, high blood pressure, disease or disorder of the blood, lymphatic system, coronary artery disease? Even that, you can see a difference between how I did it the first time going really fast, which I've still seen agents do. The second time I still slowed it down, but lumped them all in together. But what you guys can do is just slow down, make sure they understand the time frame and the difference between diagnosed, received treatment, prescribed medication, tested positive, or given medical advice for, right? They need to understand those 5 components, but then you want to slow down for each ailment or health scenario that they're talking about and break them down one by one to allow the client time to be able to digest what you're saying and answer in a truthful and honest way. So we want to slow down here, right? And you don't want to generalize. I've seen agents say, hey, Todd, you haven't had any health problems in the last 10 years. You haven't had any heart problems in the last 10 years, right? You haven't been treated for any lung issues over the last 10 years, right?
No.
Right? And when you're shaking your head no, they're going to say no. Like we've trained in DFL. When I'm shaking my head yes, a client is gonna say yes. So how we ask questions, our tonality, our body language, how we're shaking our head, in what way that leads the client to answer in a certain way. So we want to make sure that we're doing this in a professional tone. Again, we're genuine and diligent. You do not want to generalize in saying, have you had any heart? So instead of saying, you haven't had any heart issues, right, Todd? Some people might say, have you had any heart issues in the last 10 years? And that's so generalized and vague, right? We need to be specific to the application questions and slow it down, okay? So another one. So like when you get into one set of questions, that one that I just went through with diabetes all the way through circulatory, and then the next set of questions would be cancer, tumor, gastrointestinal bleeding. But instead of going from the diabetes to the circulatory all in that one paragraph and then go into the next one, which would be cancer, you would want to reiterate and go back and revisit. Again, Todd, within the past 10 years, have you been diagnosed, received treatment or medication, tested positive, been diagnosed or received treatment for cancer, excluding any type of skin cancer?
No.
Gastrointestinal bleeding?
No.
A tumor?
No.
Unexplained weight loss?
Unfortunately, no.
A disease or disorder of the pancreas or endocrine system?
No.
Okay. And remember, as we go through this, it doesn't matter if it's yes, I just need you to be honest. We will find a product for you, right? If they say a no, or they start saying, oh, well, I think so, or, you know, I don't know, they wanted me to look at something, but I just never went back, right? Like you need to be able to pick up on the client's body language and tonality and start asking more questions in that scenario. Well, what do you mean by that? What exactly happened? What were the treatments that they were wanting you to go through, or what were the exams? You want to start asking what else, why, what happened, and dig into it, because if you don't do this, the carriers are going to find this information. You're going to get a decline. And then when you get a decline for that client, now that's going on their record, and you're going to have to explain that with other carriers. They're going to look at other detailed information, and we want to do what's right for the client. We have access to every single carrier and product that we need to help out every single client. So don't just try and push them through, throw spaghetti at the wall, hope that it sticks, because that's not doing yourself, the carrier, and more importantly, the client, anything great. And we're not in here just to try and push things through. We want to put them with the right product, with the right carrier at the right time. Right. So, you know, one of the things that you can say is, you know, based off of the information that you've just told me, I need to research a few more carriers for you. So your seasoned agents, the ones that have done field underwriting for years, they know how to pivot on the spot. But if you're a brand new agent, this is your first couple of weeks, and now you've got some answers that you don't know how to handle, it's okay to say, you know what, I need to do research on a few more carriers. We're absolutely going to find you a carrier and a product that you can get qualified for, that's going to be able to protect your family. Are you free in the next 30 minutes? Are you free in the next hour? And what you can do is, if you don't want to spend time calling your upline right there on the appointment and talk through it and try and pivot, maybe you can't get a hold of somebody there, because it's always great while you're in the appointment to call your upline, reach out for help and support. But if you can't, it's okay to ask the client, are you available in 30 minutes or an hour? Let me do some research, I'll find it. You can do risk assessments with the carriers. You can reach out to your upline. We've got Symmetry Facebook posts. We've got all these different ways to connect with agents. Reach out, reach up, get that help and support, and don't focus on just pushing business through. You want to ask questions the right way, uncover the right answers, and put the client with the product that they can get approved for. If you do your part correctly, the client will answer honestly. And that's the biggest thing that we need to do, is we need to focus on delivering our application in a way that elicits a feeling that the client can and wants to be honest.
Man.
So that's all I have, you guys.
Fired up.
Yeah.
Man, what I noticed there, Mike, is we didn't even rehearse the role play piece, but the way that you changed your tonality absolutely affected me and my energy, and the way that I was thinking through the questions as you taught. I could truly feel the energy come down in my own gut, which made me feel so much more at peace and made you so much more trustworthy in that moment. So it pays off on multiple fronts.
Right on, you guys. Well, hopefully this was helpful. I know for a lot of you guys, this is old information, but we got a lot of new people out there. The digital transformation is showing us more data that's being accessible. And anything, when you guys hear me talk, the things that I'm always going to be focused on is the stuff that we can control, right? Let's focus on the things that we can control, that drive our business, that provide value to both ourselves, our organization, and the clients. This is something that we can control.
Excellent job, Mike. We're appreciative of you, buddy, and everything that you do for the organization to this point, and the many more opportunities you're going to have to make a lasting impact in your new role, buddy. And this is just the first of many, many informative segments to come, guys. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. Do not forget next week, State of the Union call, 1 p.m. Eastern, normal national call time. Invite your friends. It will be some exciting updates of where we've been and where we're going. And also do not forget the Jeremy Minor call tomorrow has been rescheduled for December 15th. And as always, everyone, make sure that you protect everybody that you come in contact with. There is no such thing as a no-sell anymore. We have an opportunity at Quility for anybody that's looking to be associated with the insurance industry. So there's no such thing as an unsuccessful interview. And guys, continue to push hard and strive to develop yourself to become the type of leader others would want to follow. So we appreciate you all. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one, everybody. Take care.